What's up? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was live and that I'm what I mean, you know what I'm saying, that people can hear me in this video. It just hit me just a few minutes of fucking go. And excuse me if y'all think my language is going to be harsh or whatever. I'm gonna try not to be too harsh in this video or whatever. But I was just sitting on my damn couch and I was just thinking, be careful, the motherfuckers, the motherfuckers you let pray for you. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you let the wrong people pray over you, if you let the wrong people pray over you, your life, they gonna pray your life pattern is gonna be like programmed, and you gonna when you wake up and become conscious, you gonna feel like you've been in a jailhouse and a prison all your fucking life. Wait a minute, hold on. Did somebody comment on my video? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like basically, look, when I changed, I felt like when I became conscious and I decided to stop stealing and doing wrong and doing those were the things that I was doing. You see what I'm saying? I was worse than my two brothers when it was coming to being mischievous and bad. My two brothers, I was worse than them put together. But anyway, um, I changed and I became conscious and I didn't want to do it no more because I had people, Christian people, praying for me that I would come from the streets and that I would not do that. So I changed in time because I said I don't want to be in no prison system and I didn't want to be in no jail system and stuff. I don't know what it was. All I knew is that family was praying. They was praying for me. But sometimes I think in my mind, what kind of spirit that was that was prayed over me. Sometimes I wonder that shit. I really do. And it just hit me. And the reason why I'm so animated about, I mean, I'm so anxious about saying it right now. And you see, I'm putting energy into it right. My energy is real strong and forceful right now. It's because I had to say this shit while it was on my mind. I had to say this shit while it was on my mind. And you see the title of this video. Be careful the motherfuckers you let pray for you. I'm look, I'll say this here to those who are in Christianity. This is no diss and no disrespect to you all, but this is for me. It's to wake up the younger black men. If you ever is in, and this is not to say you negating and disrespecting your family, your mother, your father, or whatever, a single parent household or whatever. But if you if you are very young, say 18, 19, 20, take it from a man that's fixing to be 48 years old. If you be careful who you let pray over you. The Christian folks do not let, more than likely, do not allow a Christian person is to pray over you. The reason I'm saying that is because when you let a Christian person pray over you, your life will become captivity and you will be fucked up under the white man's Esau's Christianity. I'm telling you, that shit will bind you for many years and you will suffer. This shit is worse than somebody physically confining you in a prison. It will. It is. So I said from 9 to 10 years old or whatever, be careful. If somebody laying their hands on you and they praying for you and you uncomfortable with that shit, it's best to let them know straight up. Look, I don't want nobody praying. I don't want them praying for me. Know who you got in your circle praying for you. Make sure it's the right people. I don't care if it's your parents. Especially don't trust Esau, the white man. That's the main one. That's the main enemy. Don't never let them pray over you. Do not allow them to pray over. Not them, especially them. Now I will say, okay, more than likely you love your family. That's your blood and everything. I mean, that's your family, blood family and stuff. Of course, you can trust some of them, but this is not dissing the ones who actually are sincere that is involved in Christianity and they truly mean well and they don't want to confine your life. I'm not talking about them. You see what I'm saying? But you got to literally pray and ask the Most High God for discernment. You can't be letting everybody put their hands on you or your children praying for you. The reason I'm forcibly saying this here is because, look, you looking at a man that can tell you something and that can tell you from experience. If you can get out of it's not saying that you don't love your parent. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing that. I love my people with all my heart. But at the same time, just be careful. Don't allow yourself to get put in a position, because a single parent household is not healthy. I'm telling you that now. It's not healthy. Now, am I saying I'm not saying go against your mother. I'm not saying hate your mother. I'm not saying hate your father. I'm not saying none of that. That's not what I'm advocating here. Respect. You still love and respect them and honor them as the Bible tells you to. You see what I'm saying? You're doing what God said do or whatever. But for the most part, you got to know who put their hands on you. Know who you let. Don't look, man. I'm telling you. Be careful who you let pray for you. It's okay to let them pray for you if you really know them like that. And you see that's why in the Bible it tells you prove if you will get a friend, you must first prove them. And I see why the Most High said do that. It's because it said you have to prove people before you let people, even in your house. You got to know who you let in your circle, in your physical house. You can't trust, and I know I'm not telling y'all nothing yet that y'all already don't know. You got to know who you dealing with in your house. You got to know who you talking to. You got to know who you are invited into your house, because that plays a big part in a lot of stuff. Because we already, as so-called Hispanics, Native American, black, so-called black, people of color, whatever you want to call them, we already under a curse. We already living in this white man's captivity in America, and you know what I'm saying. We living in a fucked up neighborhood to where we got to depend upon the government for food stamps and all this type of shit. You see what I'm saying? And no matter how much you got in this world, they still can chop your kingdom down, just like they did Bill Cosby. He was rich. He was this and that and the third. All them other celebrities. What's the other one? Bill Cosby and all those people, right? All those people, from Michael Jackson all the way on down. You see how they you see how they bought them. You see what they did to them. They give you something in their kingdom, and no matter how much you got and you feel like they can't touch you, you got another thing coming. I learned one thing. Hold on, let me see if this music is still on. Hold up. Let me put this towel down here on this floor to stop. The only reason why I'm over here is because I don't want to be in there because they have too much goddamn music in there, and I don't want to get my video stamp copyright and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I'm sacrificing being here, because it's still raining outside. If it wasn't wet, I could walk outside and do it. Yeah, hold on, it's still doing. So I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to make sure that I don't have that music in there, because YouTube is something else. If they hear that a little bit of the music, they gonna turn around and spam your ass for copyright. But I want to say this here. I'm telling everybody under the sound of my voice. I was just thinking about that, and it just hit me. And maybe it must have been meant. It was meant for me to come and make this goddamn video to say this shit, because I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. I still just think of all of the years that I waste, man. I'm supposed to, and this is just only for educational purposes only, for my people, so-called Hispanics, blacks, and Native American people, which are the real Jews according to the Bible. You don't want to be like me. You don't want to live. I want y'all to, this is just a warning video. If you can get from under the roof of your, I'm not saying you're trying to forsake your people. This is not against them. I don't hate my people, but I'm just saying, you want to be able to have your own place and stuff like that. Because I look at myself and I'm like, a normal man at 47, probably younger than me, have their own home. They have their own place. Some of them even driving trucks on the road, just doing shit with their life, doing shit and stuff like that. But me, I just gotten so used to patterning my life being at home and stuff like that, and this and that and the third, and you know what I'm saying. You don't want to have to like be like me. I did back in the day. I couldn't read and I couldn't write. I still have trouble with the spell. My spelling ain't good now, but I can read. When I look at stuff, I can read. You see what I'm saying? But back then I couldn't do it. So I learned how to overcome that. It frustrated the shit out of me back in the day that I couldn't read at all. I was literally almost I was literally almost goddamn crying and shit. I'm talking about literally crying, being frustrated because I couldn't read. So I just say, I woke up one day and I would have my, if I can get my brothers or my cousins, I didn't have them around. I just got them when they came around. I would ask them back in the day. This was way before the internet, before YouTube, before any of this stuff. I would say, could you put something on tape, record yourself reading and just stick it on tape. And then I would take and go back and listen to the reading and follow along with what they read and record it on the tape or whatever. And that is a lot of how I learned how to read. You know what I'm saying? Through my nephew, through my niece, through my mother, and through my brothers and my sister. When they had the opportunity and they came around, I said, shit, I better get them now before they go back. I better get my brothers now before they go back to jail or before they do this and that, because and so on and so forth. Because I was the only one at home, and I stayed home with my, at home. I was the only one that didn't move out the house. You know what I'm saying? I was the only one that stayed there with my parents. You know what I'm saying? Living in a single parent household and so on and so forth. I didn't go nowhere. I was the one that just changed and got conscious over time, like at 13. That's where it started at, because I felt like at the age 7, 8, 9, and 10, I always had a mind. I was questioning things. My grandfather, which is my mother's father, used to call me the question answer because I was always asking questions. Maybe that's why I got to this point of learning more about the chosen people in the Bible. Maybe that's why it wasn't so hard for me to accept it back in 2007, 18. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Because when it was broke down to me who Esau was and this and that and the third, then I accepted it. I didn't sit there and try to challenge it or debate it or nothing like that. It just made sense. And I'm like, whoa, no, I hope and pray that I'm part of these tribes or whatever. I was thinking like that, crazy stuff. You see what I'm saying? But the title of this video is be careful the motherfuckers you pray for. You let pray for you. Be careful the motherfuckers you let pray for you. That's right. Don't never let Esau pray for you, please. So-called black woman, young teenager, whoever you is, I'm telling you, do not. I'm telling you from experience. Don't let no one pray for you. No, Esau is number one. You don't let pray for you at all. If you let somebody pray for you, make sure it's somebody of your tribe. And even then, you still got to be careful, because a lot of our people has been programmed to have these Esau spells on them. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like now the person that prayed for me, they might have meant well. You see what I'm saying? They might have meant well. I'm not going to sit up there and exclude them. I can give them credit and appreciate them for giving me or trying to pray for me that I get wise and get good spiritual counseling and stuff like that. But I just felt like, man, it didn't work out for me. It just looked like it just turned the L on me and just it turned around and it just slapped me and exploded in my face like a bomb. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm urgently warning people and challenging people. For the most part, I'm not saying don't do it. Make sure you get to know people first. But for the most part, don't let nobody pray over you. If you find them praying over you, or you wake up and you find them praying, you need to question them. You don't want to do nothing to kind of make them feel disappointed or nothing like that. But you question them and ask them, what is your reason for praying for me? Because I know a lot of people. Be honest with them, and just in this day and age, you gotta ask, because I'm telling you from experience, me coming up as a child. You see what I'm saying? At 13 years old on up, you got people praying for you. You got the supposed to be the leaders who are spiritual praying for you, instead of them praying for you to succeed in life. they actually praying a witchcraft spirit over you, and you don't know what the hell is going on. You see what I'm saying? And you thinking that everything is gonna be all good. But I challenge you, please do not get up under Christianity. Christianity is at its worst. You would be better off letting I would say surviving and getting with some, because you got some brothers out there on the streets that can give you some good advice. Some of them now, not all of them, but let the Most High lead you into who you should be dealing with. You got to just pray and ask for spiritual discernment of who to deal. It doesn't matter who it is. You see what I'm saying? You got to pray for spiritual discernment, bro, because guess what? You don't want to end up like, I'm not saying that I ended up in a so bad condition. I'm not saying that I'm not giving my people credit for actually giving me what they knew and being spiritual and stuff. I'm not trying to discredit them. Because a lot of times they might have not knew. They probably didn't even know, and they families probably prayed for them and prayed a witchcraft spirit on them, and they didn't even know it, because the power of witchcraft is powerful, bro. And then they families could have took and prayed the same damn thing on them. And then here I am thinking I'm doing the right thing, and I'm praying this damn spirit on other people. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to be doing that shit, man. And like I say, man, breaking these curses, man, is we got to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, you know, I'm trying to come up, you know, try something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So I can help my people properly. You know what I mean? But, you know, I realize, you know, I can't help somebody else right off if I'm still bound my damn self. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come and get that shit off my chest, just to let y'all know, for the most part, don't be letting nobody pray for you. Be careful. And I'm not saying don't ever do it, but for the most part, yeah, do that. For the most part, don't never let people be laying hands on you and praying for you, for the most part. You got to get to know people, and you got to prove people. The Bible says, if thou wilt beget a friend, prove them first, right? Didn't it say that? Don't let people just jump up and just go to praying and putting their hands on you, and you thinking you no, you got to know who the hell you letting pray for you. Because I couldn't understand it back then. I called myself, this was before I came into the truth of the knowing who the chosen people were, that God's chosen people, and that he didn't love everybody, blah, blah, and da, da, and da, da, and so on and so forth. I called myself trying to pray for a girl one time, a girl one time. And I meant well. And I got mad at the individual person because they didn't allow me to pray for them. And then as I thought over the years, as I thought about it, and I thought about the struggles and stuff that, excuse me, I'm going to keep doing that. All the struggles that I done had, now I finally understand why that person didn't allow me to do that. I understand. I was like, oh, okay. Because people go around, the wrong type of people, praying over people and putting witchcraft spells on them, and they don't even know it themselves. And then when you bring it to their attention, they so blind. That witchcraft spirit is very powerful, man. And that shit keeps you bound. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm going to try to talk about this some more later on tonight in my room. We'll try to go live and talk about it. You see what I'm saying? Again, but be careful the people you let pray, or you be wondering why you ain't prospering. You want like, damn, why am I'm not prospering? I'm almost 50 something years old, and I'm not, and I can't even hold on, y'all. Let me go ahead and check something. I kind of burnt my beans up in there. I mean, my baked bean, Bush's beans, you know. That's those beans in the can. I kind of smell it now. I didn't even know it. I got so caught up in the video, 19 minutes into it. But be careful who you let pray over you, man. Don't let everybody be calling themselves laying hands on you and all that kind of stuff. Don't do that. Take it from me. I plead in that area. If you are a young man coming up, you living with your parents or whatever it is, and some of you probably didn't have it as to where you probably have actually, you know how to read and write, and we have the, of course, we have the internet age today. You see what I'm saying? So it would be a little easier for them. If you can do that, do everything you can is to become responsible. Don't depend upon your mother and your father. Now, when I say don't depend, I'm not telling you to forsake them. I'm not telling you to disrespect them. I'm not telling you to do that. But you got to learn how to become independent and don't depend upon them. Make sure you know how to do what you need to do and be a survivor. If you walk outside of you know what I'm saying, learn something. Get with somebody you can trust. Some older people, some older people who is concerned enough and who is conscious enough is to lead you in the right direction and not going to try to take advantage of you or do something to you or try to disrespect you in any kind of way as far as you know, in any kind of way, sexual or this or that, or do any kind of devious stuff. You want to get you somebody that's righteous and somebody that's really living the law, statutes, and the commandments to the best of their ability. They may not even know all the truth. It's the ideal of them being spiritual and being sincere. Listen to their conversation. Always be swift to actually listen and try and discern and see the type and listen to their conversation to see what you're dealing with. Don't never go off of what sounds good. Examine the matter. Test people. Whatever they say to you, prove people. Whether you be a young boy, a young girl, or whoever you are. I'm telling that to the younger generation too. Don't just go off of something and just be taken in because somebody do something good or any of us. You know, it can be anybody. It can be me or whatever. Any of them. Test us and all that. Prove us, man. Don't just jump up and do certain things. Know who you make sure you got the right people in your circle that's going to lead you in the right direction, bro. And that's not going to have you confined where you got to depend upon another nation of people or you got to just depend upon your mother and your father and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying you want them. Again, this is not telling you to forsake them. I'm not advocating don't love them. You're supposed to love your mother and your father that as a so-called Hispanic, Black, and Native American person. But I'm just saying, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like having your own or whatever. Do what you need to do or whatever. I'm just saying, I don't want you to end up like me. I want you to be young and be able to get on your feet at 18, 19. I mean, I'm just of course, I'm talking about whatever, like 21, maybe in your 20s or something like that, or whenever you feel like you want to make progression in something or whatever. Just make sure that you know you can do these things or whatever. So if something should happen or collapse or something like that, you won't have to just constantly lean on these people. Don't get in a bad environment where you're gonna see gossip and talebearing and all that kind of stuff. If you can avoid that, that's why I said from the beginning. Pray. Don't be careful who you allow to pray for you. Be careful the motherfuckers you let pray for you. That's the title of the video. Be careful the motherfuckers you let pray for you. Because the people that's praying for you, if they the wrong type of people, it's going to be for your destruction. Or if you let the right people pray for you, it's going to be for your righteousness. It's going to be for your deliverance. It's going to be for all of that. You see what I'm saying? Help you get on your own. Help you live better. You know what I mean? But you don't want to let anybody just pray over you. Don't do that. That's the video title. Now, I know I left out. Anything I left out, I'll just come back and I'll just talk about it in the next live. And I'll see y'all later. And I love y'all as my so-called Hispanic, Blacks, and Native American people. Peace. All right.